Nice guys finish last. You've heard it, maybe you've said it, maybe you've lived it. It's a sigh in a world that seems unfair, a bitter explanation when our kindness isn't rewarded. It's like a warm blanket of resignation. We're not succeeding, not because we're incapable, but because we're too nice. But what if that's a lie? The most dangerous and sophisticated lie of all. Not because it's false, but because it stops us from asking the truly terrifying question. Does nice really mean good? Or is it just a more elegant name for fear? I want to tell you about a young architect named Alex. Alex is talented, dedicated, and above all, a nice person. They always stay late to help colleagues, never turn down a request, and always let others present their core ideas in meetings. Alex believes in harmony and the power of the team. They believe their quiet dedication will eventually be recognized. The most important project of their career is a massive success. At the celebration party, the director stands up and announces a long-awaited promotion. But the name that's called is not Alex's. It's the colleague who presented their idea. That night, driving home in silence, Alex tells himself, "See, nice guys always finish last." But as that sentence repeats in their mind, another feeling rises. Not self-pity, but a strange, uncomfortable awareness. They begin to realize they didn't defend their idea not because they were humble, but because they were afraid of confrontation. They helped everyone unconditionally, not because they were selfless, but because they were afraid of being rejected, afraid of not being liked. They chose harmony not because they believed in it, but because harmony was easier than fighting for what they believed was right. Their niceness wasn't a virtue, it was a shield, a defense mechanism built from fear. And in that moment, Alex understood. They didn't lose because they were a nice person. They lost because they weren't brave enough to be a truly good person. Alex's story exposes a common confusion. We often equate being a nice person with being an agreeable person. But psychology and philosophy paint a very different picture. Psychologically, this is a state sometimes called the disease to please. These people score very high on agreeableness in the Big Five personality model. Their actions aren't guided by an internal moral compass, but by an external need for validation. The approval of others is their nourishment. The disappointment of others is their poison. This isn't kindness. This is a form of dependency. Even in game theory, a naive nice guy who always cooperates unconditionally is considered a poor strategy. A healthy system is based on reciprocal altruism. I help you, you help me. This system requires a mechanism to punish defectors, those who only take and never give. A blindly nice person breaks this system, not only harming themselves, but enabling selfish behavior to thrive. And perhaps no one dissected this more fiercely than the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. He called this slave morality. According to Nietzsche, the weak, unable to win through strength, created a new value system to turn their own weaknesses into virtues. Compassion, humility, obedience, these were praised as good. The strong, the assertive, the confident were branded as evil. The good person in this case is simply someone who has found comfort and virtue in their own powerlessness. At this point, logic seems to be leading us to a cold conclusion. Don't be nice. Be assertive. Be a little selfish for your own good. But that is another trap, a dangerous oversimplification. Because the opposite of the nice guy, like Alex, is not a jerk. The opposite of a person who is nice out of fear is a person who is genuinely good. Think about it. If someone acts kindly because they fear the consequences of not being kind,
What is their kindness worth? It's fragile, it's conditional. A genuinely good person can also be kind, but their kindness comes from a place of strength, not weakness. They have the capacity to say no. They have the ability to set boundaries. They have the ability to confront respectfully when their values are violated. They choose kindness not because it's their only option, but because it's the right option among many others they could have taken. The fake nice person is agreeable. The genuinely good person is trustworthy. They have a moral backbone. Their kindness has weight because it is a conscious choice. The Alex type of nice guy fears conflict. The truly good person doesn't seek conflict, but they don't run from it when it's necessary, because they understand that sometimes the best thing you can do isn't to keep the peace, but to fight for what is right. So we come back to the original phrase, nice guys finish last. Maybe it's true, but only if we accept a warped definition of nice, a niceness born from fear, passivity, and the need to be liked. The truly good person, the one who is kind from a place of strength, whose compassion is matched by their courage, they don't finish last. They might lose short-term battles. They might not get the promotion. They might not be liked by everyone, but they are playing a different game. It is the game of integrity, the game of meaningful relationships, the game of self-respect. And in that long game, they never lose. Maybe we've been asking the wrong question all along. The question isn't, do nice guys finish last? But what kind of good are we choosing to be? The one that seeks approval or the one that acts with courage? I believe there's a little of Alex in all of us, and also a little of the person Alex longs to become. My question for you today is this. Think of a time in your past when you chose to be the agreeable person instead of the right person. Or conversely, a time you bravely said no, and it changed everything. What did that moment teach you about yourself? Share your story, because sometimes the best way to find an answer is to ask the question together.